Opéra de sang joue tous les soirs. Bel épilogue pour les témoins du noir. De ces voûtes couvertes de chairs innocentes. Les tombeaux ouverts à toutes les sentences. Mille siècles d'horreur dansent au théâtre. C'est le clin d'œil de la mort en chasse. Le moment propice pour choisir et pourrir. Dorian, te souviens-tu de tes rêves? Dorian, te souviens-tu de tes rêves? Comme la matière brute d'une grande évasion. Ébloui du flambeau que nous tenons. Regarde dans mon puits, as-tu peur de t'y voir? Dur comme la pierre, briseur de miroir. Mon empire de sens s'étire et se meurt. La poussière de son règne ne me fait plus peur. La poussière de son règne ne me fait plus peur. Hey! Qui ne connaît plus l'horreur, rien n'est écrit et tu verras tout boulera. Sur les collines où j'ai vu pied des rois, créature de rien, ton nom ne fait plus la loi. Aucun de tes apôtres ne te sauvera, des songes nocturnes aux formes de cadavres. Dorian, es-tu revenu des enfers? Dorian, es-tu revenu des enfers?
Good evening and welcome back to 12th century Egypt, where Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, has been installed as a Crusader Queen and has promptly invaded half of her neighbours, with the help of her various vassals, such that Egypt now extends, well, quite a lot further than it classically ought to. This is partly because Queen Adalberta, as a Crusader Queen, gets a plus 30% damage against religious enemies and a plus 20% national levy size, which means she has a lot of highly effective troops. Oh, and she has a martial score of 29, which is the highest of anyone in the known world. So she has been expanding quite a bit recently, though she isn't the only Christian state in northern Africa now, because in the process of the First Crusade, her cousin, something like that, arbitrary kinswoman, Hildeburg di Spoleto, was settled as the Crusader Duchess of Sirte, and she too has been expanding, in her case southwards, so that the Duchy of Sirte now extends halfway across the Sahara. Yes. Also, the Holy Roman Empire has a small outpost in Tunis, which it established just before the Crusade, largely because it had a huge pile of armies kicking around in the Mediterranean who needed something to do for 6 months. So, this is where we are. Oh, also, the Holy Roman Empire has a tiny outpost down here. For reasons not involving having invaded it, but involving the person, the count of that county, having inherited a duchy inside the Holy Roman Empire. So, excuse me while I fiddle with IRC a bit. Right, where was I? Let me find that. Yes, right. So, Sirte has a zealous Crusader Queen, genius, probably prone to invading her infidel neighbours at the drop of a crown, but she does have a slight problem, which is that her own domain domain levies are seriously depleted. Like, she has only a quarter of the 10,000 personal levies she should have. Her vassal levies are not very depleted, but on the other hand, her vassals are getting seriously fractious about how much she's using them. So I think she needs to be a bit careful. But there are so many soft targets nearby. So, to pick an example, there is, of course, a defensive pact against Adalberta now, which kind of limits her options. But this Fatimid revolt has 2,500 troops. So, with even a small fraction of Sirte's army, she could take them. There's this single county here, which admittedly still has 2,000 troops, but which similarly would not take much effort to claim. Apparently there's a revolt going on there, which might be good if it overthrows the current ruler, because we've got a truce with them. There's this little emirate here, with admittedly 3,500 troops. That might be enough to be a bit of a hassle. Over here, the realms get a bit bigger. So yeah, we do have the Hashemids, who I was going to say occupy both sides of the Red Sea, but do they? Or does he have two titles? Oh, he has multiple titles, right, yes. Who cover both sides of the Red Sea, but still only have 3,000 troops. And Mercuria, of course, is quite weak because, well, some of our vassals have taken bits of it already. So, were it not for the fact that we have at least one dangerous faction, we might be wanting to go after things, and maybe we still do. Maybe we can find a vassal we can steal. We can use some of the troops of who isn't seriously pissed off. Ben looks down the list of vassals. Okay, yeah, we could get ourselves 400, 600, 1200. He's probably all right, though that's only another 290. 1400. Do we consider 60 not seriously pissed off? There's another 200 from someone with over 70. But admittedly, we are in the rather weird state then that we're recruiting most of our troops from bishops. But like, yeah, it looks like from people who are reasonably non-pissed off with us, we might be able to get enough troops, especially if we're willing to stick the Queen at the head of the army. So yes, sorry, reading IRC a bit. So, because she has 29 marshal, and she now has a daughter, Princess Gerhild of Egypt, is a genius. She's not much else at the moment, but she is a genius. And since Egypt is currently running on primogeniture succession, that will be fine. Even if that faction who wants to switch it to Gavelkind gets their way, well, Gerhild will still be still inherit everything as long as she's the only child. So I don't think it would actually be very bad for Adalberta to be at the head of an army, because if she dies, it'll be unfortunate. Gerhild will come to the throne age nothing. Steph says, what makes someone a genius? Yeah, and as Simon says pretty accurately, a label stuck on them at birth. Yes, they are assigned genius at birth. Actually, I'm not 100% sure they aren't assigned genius at conception. Some things you get at birth, but I think some things you get at conception. Not that it's easy to tell. Genius is an inherited trait, so if either of your parents is a genius, you are much more likely to be a genius than if neither of them is. Which is why I try to breed genius into my dynasty, because being a genius gets you +5 on every attribute, and +10 personal combat skill, and +5 vassal opinion. It makes being a ruler so much easier. I think strong is probably the second best trait for this. It doesn't give you it doesn't give you such good attribute boosts, but it does still give you a there it is, a bunch of other useful things: personal combat skill, attraction opinion, and importantly vassal opinion. Yes, curiously, Adalberta has managed to marry a strong man, though he has not sadly provided her with a strong genius daughter, which would have been particularly good. So yes, so I'm kind of tempted to take on the Fatimid revolt, but we should see who is and isn't in the defensive pact. So basically, the people in the defensive pact, apart from the Hashemids, weirdly, not Mercuria, and not anyone around here. And like the Fatimid revolt are going to be busy fighting the Fatimids, who are over here, whom we also who we're adjacent to, so we probably have a casus belli against them as well. They've only got 1.2 thousand troops. So maybe we ignore this lot, the Ifranids, and go after the Fatimids and their revolt, on the grounds that they're both going to be hostile to us anyway, and they're both fairly feeble, and they're busy fighting one another. Yes, I did try to pronounce strong man as two separate words in this circumstance, because He is not, in the occupational sense, a strong man, or indeed in the political one. Also, for some reason, I can't ask him to convert to Catholicism, though Adalberta could secretly become Orthodox. I'm not sure if this is of any use. Hang on, why is my husband... Oh, my husband's weirdly a vassal of the Holy Roman Empire because he's still spy master of the Holy Roman Empire, which is why I can't ask him to convert, because he's not in my court. And which is why he has given me sod all children, because... I mean, I'm not sure if it's officially the case. Yes. That's why Gerhild wasn't strong, of course. Her father is not the king. Her father is Heinrich the Pest, who was a pest but was also conveniently available when my husband is off spy mastering for the... is in Florence scheming on behalf of the Holy Roman Emperor. Like, damn it, come back to your wife's court. She did break off the affair with Heinrich the Pest once he'd given her a daughter, because frankly that was why she was involved with him. She wanted to get an heir, and her husband was off doing whatever the Holy Roman Emperor wanted. So yes, I'm quite tempted to declare war on the Fatimid revolt and the Fatimids. Which duchy should we go for? I mean, this one has 3 counties that we would gain, I think. But they are mostly occupied already. Yeah, how's the war between the Fatimids and their revolt going? Those are nicely stable. Valencia is holy warring for Alger and is winning. Right. We should holy war for the eastern one, which has 4 counties in it. Because that way we can just carve this rebellion in 2. Who are you at war with? Ghana are also trying to conquer you. Right, well, yeah, let's declare war on those 2. Who should we declare? What should we declare war on you for? Oh, it has to be those 2 counties, the ones closest to us. Yeah. So, meanwhile, is it who's coming after this? Valentia up there. Oh, curious. Okay. Claire says Azam has a silly nose. It's only slightly silly. Right, so yes, I think this is a plan. Oh no, I have a truce with... Oh, not Azam, that's Fadl. Azam has a silly nose, sorry. I think he just has a reinforced nose. I can't declare war on the Fatimids themselves because I've got a truce with the Fatimids. And they're in a defensive pact against me. Or are they not? No, they're in a defensive pact against the Holy Roman Empire, Stokeface. But I don't want to declare war against them because I'd lose 4,000 prestige, and that's not wise. Okay. Should we take this guy then? No, he's a bit scary. I mean, he's a bit scary if I'm planning to do this with the minimum number of armies. But if we aim to take that duchy, that seems quite sensible. Right. So, yeah, that seems wise. Well, wise is probably stretching it a bit, but... Right, so now let's find those vassals who are not seriously pissed off with me. I suppose I could take my troops in as well, though that will cost me money. So, who currently likes me? You like me. I should hold down control when I'm doing this, just in case. You like me. You like me. You like me adequately. These are all going to be way over in the east. Go on. Maybe I should have sorted these by opinion. Right, so that's all the vassals who significantly like me. Where's my... shouldn't this have a list of armies on it, or have I? Do I need to turn on... Have I accidentally... Oh no, there they are, armies. 405, 242... So that's 1,000, 1,500, 1,700, and our target has, in theory, 2,500 troops. I think I'll raise my personal levies as well, for all that will cost us some money. Monthly cost 8, yeah, we can probably afford that. Monthly balance plus 16, so yes, that won't. We'll still be gaining money. It's kind of traditional to send everyone over by ship, but that will piss off someone by raising their liege levy fleets. Oh, we can afford that for a little while. Right, so over here we need to be slightly careful. That lot are currently heading to Askedal. So this is the army that's in a slightly dangerous position. Let's march them to there, I think. And join everyone else in there. You'll probably end up going the wrong way. Oh, that lot should have left in that by then, though maybe they won't have. Yeah, surely he's not going to do anything so foolish as to walk away from a smaller army that's going to head towards him. Oh, come on. Thank you. So let's go round. Anyway, those are that's the actual Fatimids, so they're unlikely to actually. In that case, let's reorganise this. No, not that way. I do want to be at least slightly cautious about this. No, that way. Let's organise everyone on the borders and hope that this army doesn't do something obvious and sensible. Should I really be hoping that army doesn't do something obvious and sensible? No, I shouldn't. Let's organise everyone. Oh dear, no, don't do that. In such a way that as far as possible we accumulate them somewhere where the revolt can't see them. Slightly wondering about dismissing this lot. Oh yes, I should dismiss that army and re-raise it in Askedal very shortly. Right, so I should remember there's an army to be raised in Askedal. Kaiser Baldwin has also declared a holy war for the same county, for the same duchy, on the same person. Right. It's a race. Don't just... oh, well, I'll have to raise them in Ashir then. Right, they've got an organiser. Run away quickly so that 2,000 army doesn't cross the border straight into you. Right. How are things going over here? Haven't quite got everyone together, but they will be shortly. Precisely 3,000 troops onto the ships. Ships over to the nearest port. Oh, they're a bit depleted now. Oh, right, I think that holy war may have finished. Right, or something. Let's... Who's he then? Not anyone relevant to me. I shouldn't end up fighting the HRE because I wouldn't have a casus belli against them. Like, we're the same religion, so I obviously can't holy war. No, don't go that way. I mean, you could, but don't. So, like, the holy war would become invalid as soon as the HRE took the territory. And if I take it, then the HRE's holy war will become invalid. Excellent. The county of Giza has been converted to Catholicism. That's not by my court chaplain, though, is elsewhere. Yeah, more or less, I think if our armies meet in the field, we'll end up fighting on the same side, and each taking some of the glory, for which read war score. Right, so my other army is there. That's a weird route. Go for it if you must. Oh look, it's Holy Roman Army. Okay, no, we need more to make that siege work. Odd. The King of Frisia has imprisoned the captain of the Sardinian company. County of Benghazi has been converted. We are reasonably swiftly converting Egypt to Catholicism. Okay, we don't appear to have a siege leader in the correct place. So let us provide one. Given we've got quite a lot of troops, we might want once we've besieged something. Oh! Sheikh Hussam of Yalala has declared war on the Duke of Mazab. Surely that's an invalid war. He's not my vassal. He is. That's not allowed. You have to declare war on me. See? Stop doing that. The price of decadence. The ruling dynasty of the Tamimid Emirate has been overthrown by the zealous and hard-living tribesmen of the Idrisid dynasty. Their decadent emirate has been toppled, freeing any vassals from their bondage to the unworthy emir. With the emirate gone, time will tell if a worthy dynasty will be up to the task of restoring authority to the region. Bloated fools. What does that mean? Does that mean this place is no longer someone I have a truce with? Obviously I can't immediately declare war on him. I think it might do. I have a truce with Caliph Fadl over there. So far, no sign of serious problems from the HRE. I think I should go and have a battle, though, to get myself some war score, but I think I can safely wait until this siege is over before doing that. I'm not going to assault. I'm reasonably happy that... I'm still reasonably happy with the HRE situation. I am a bit worried by them now. But I do need to get that battle before they get it. So I'm a little worried that they've brought 7,000 troops over. But I really can't afford to lose any. Yeah! My husband's been murdered. Inga Conradina, what are you playing at? I mean, I suppose he was the spy master for the Holy Roman Empire, so being murdered is kind of... an occupational hazard of being of being spy master for the Holy Roman Empire. Not very many strong candidates, are there? Well, Boson might be all right, though. Bit short on diplomacy. I suppose we should see if there are any geniuses available, but no. I mean, to an extent, I don't really care about genetic traits anyway, because, like, I've got a child. She's a perfectly good child. Indeed, ideally, I want someone who won't give me any sons. Because if I have a son, then he'll probably turn out not to be a genius and will inherit in front of Gerhild. So ideally, we want... I mean, I could stay unmarried, but having a spouse helps with your state things. So I suppose what I could go for is a celibate genius. No, what? There's no one celibate at all that I can. How annoying! Like, you would have thought that the celibate men would be easily available because no one wants them. Bah. Yes. For a non-matrilineal marriage, I can get, well, a 12-year-old genius. I am quite tempted by Gomez. Yeah, everyone is suggesting various kinds of infanticide. Requires a bit of care, infanticide, because you can't just murder your own children. Or at least, if you're their mother, you can't. Gomez is quite tempting. Like 18 diplomacy, 15 martial. No, Dizzyet. I'm going to shack up with a 16-year-old and hope not to get pregnant. Well, I mean, palace up, really. I mean, yeah, I would prefer someone who didn't carry with him so much danger of having children. I mean, it need not be matrilineal if I don't care about having children, but that would be a disaster if I can avoid having children. But that would be an utter disaster if I did have children. Like, at least if I have a son, they might turn out to be all right. I can always make him a commander and make sure he spends all his time in the field. I mean, we could go for the 41-year-old Songalia. He also has pretty decent stats. But I think I would prefer to prioritise diplomacy. Yeah, I think I'm going to marry Gomez and see how it goes. I think. Let's just think about what that does to my state diplomacy then. That bumps my state diplomacy up from 40 up by half my spouses, which I seem to be getting a bonus for still, presumably because he's only just died. So so I'd get like another not quite 10. I mean, yeah, it is a significant boost. Yeah, let's have him. Being married is traditional or something. Meanwhile, we're at war. Steph asks, why is marrying a bishop's relative deprestigious? Because my character is a queen. Bishops are quite a long way down from queens. Like, if she were marrying the relative of a duke or a queen or a king or queen, then she would, I think, that would have a neutral effect on her prestige. If she were marrying the relative of an emperor, that would have a positive effect. But going all the way down to bishop is quite negative. Damn it, the Holy Roman Empire got to that battle first. Do I gain 200 prestige or 97 gold? We'll get 97 gold. So, oops, pause. Right, so we have the slight problem that the HRE has already started that battle. I'm kind of tempted to join it in an attempt at grabbing some of the glory from it. I don't know if this will help. Oh, I should stick an organizer in there so I get to the battle as fast as possible. I don't know that it's going to help because I think the battle will be over before I can get there. And it is. The HRE seems to have managed to teleport into the next county, which is kind of convenient. Maybe the battle wasn't happening in the county I thought it was happening in. So there's no point in going to that county now, they're already fleeing. So I think we may now have a bit of a problem that the HRE has plus 43% war score and I only have 8%. Now, and now I'm engaged in a siege where I'm not even the leader of the siege, which is of no use at all. So I should go somewhere else. Probably back there and besiege the soft things there. I think. I'm now going, yeah, but where's that army fleeing to? What do I do? No, we should flatten Constantine first. But I think this war is going to end up inconclusive for us because the HRE will get their bit of it done first. They seem to have turned up to help with this. But I think I'll get all the war score for this occupation. So I should sit here and let the HRE help. Also, is that the HRE army leaving? No, they're just going back down the hill, right. Yes, they rapidly decided that they weren't going to gain anything by helping me. Diz says, declare war on someone else. I'd have to dismiss my army first. So, like, I can. I think you may be right, though. Maybe I should just abandon this war on the grounds that the HRE is not going... That, well... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish besieging this county while keeping half an eye on where the revolt army has got to. With the idea that if I can get a battle with what's left of the revolt army, that will be worth quite a lot of war score. But also, besieging these three places is worth some war score too. So we now have 18% war score. Oh dear. Pregnant. Well, we'll see if we can come up with a way to ensure he doesn't inherit. If it's a he. If it's a she, it's nowhere near such a problem. Yes, there is a general rule that within CK2 that you're perfectly well allowed to send your armies through neutral territory. And in general, you can't stop people marching their armies through your territory unless you're actually at war with them. Oh dear. One of my vassals managed to lose an offensive war, Stoat. So you notice that Valencia has taken the whole of the western bit of the revolt. Where's my... Amusing. Where's my siege leader, damn it. This will go a lot faster if I have my siege leader in charge. Straight face. This one's worth salting because it will be quick. Right. So there, the HRE is already besieging this county. So now I should switch back to organizer. Run westwards. Wonder where the army, the revolt army's got to. There it is. So it's currently heading to Tahat. Excellent. Bah! He got up to 100% war score. Azam the Wise accepted Kaiser Baldwin the Wise's peace offer. Well, they're both very wise. Holy Roman, Holy War for Kabylia has ended. Surely will end my... Oh! No! Because I had 100... I had occupied the whole of Constantine, that appears not to have transferred. So I now have 99% war score because I am occupying, well, essentially everything. I'm occupying one of the two counties of this kingdom. Now I just... No, don't go that way. Go this way. Let's get into a battle with this lot, so as to get the battle war score necessary to win. Yeah, the HRE is a little inconvenient here, but let's get one of our best commanders in here now. But they can't really attack me because they won't have a casus belli for that. Okay, let's get our organizer in so we can catch them. They're running away. So Kaiser Baldwin is carving up, actually no, a completely different area, the northeast of his empire. Someone trying to kill Count Augustin of Mazab. Please don't do that. He's my kinsperson. So few plots I know about. You. Stop trying to kill Duke Augustin. Unfortunately, I can't tell you just tell you to do so because you're not anything to do with my Are you, like, heir to his thing or something? No. I mean, I can plot to kill you. Don't really want to go around murdering people just yet. I'm so young. Who's Count Augustin's, or Duke Augustin's heir? Ah, it's his own son, that's fine. Murder Duke Augustin, see if I care. Where are those guys going now? They're now going to Yalala. Well, let's join them there then. let's not join them there so fast that... Are you going to go and lose a battle to your parent state? Well, in that case... Actually, I shall march in there and start besieging what's left. On the assumption that that is actually the entire territory you control, because I can do this by 100% occupation if I have to. Okay, they're now going back to Beniyani, right. Ah, we have a peace offer. We surrender. Let's just check the borders of the Duchy of Kabylia. So it doesn't include that county anyway. Yep, we'll take it. So now Egypt includes that county there, which is isolated from everything else we have. So Idris is the conqueror of here, which is interesting because he has 38 troops. I should have dismissed those fleets. Now, we do have to dismiss all of our armies before we declare war on him, but I think we don't have a truce with him, so we totally should. That's the more populous county. Let's just confirm we don't have a truce with him. Yes. So let's dismiss that lot. Annoyingly, we can only claim one of his counties, but let's go for the one... Oh, he's in a defensive pact. No, okay, let's not declare war on someone who's in the defensive pact. That would be folly, sadly. Unless, I suppose, I raise, like, I could raise a holy order, march them up to his gates, and then declare war. But he does have 2 counties, so maybe that would be folly as well. Hey, how about you? You've got slightly more troops, but you've only got 1 county, so we could actually do you with a rapid blitzkrieg. Who are you? You're actually quite powerful, aren't you? Yes. Like, these guys are so tiddly. It is quite tempting to do something to them. What's going on over here? I think my vassals over here have been getting themselves into trouble and have ended up like... Actually, was it her? Gudrun of Asyut, yes. Where she went to war with the king of Mercuria and lost. Like a stoat. I mean, he's not very strong, but... he isn't in a defensive pact against us. And he's conveniently close to our capital. We should work out what to do with... How have I gone so far over my domain limit? Oh, because there's a bunch of things here that need, like, populating. Well, let's do the lazy thing and just create new vassals for the churches and the city. That puts us inside our domain limit, so I won't worry about continuing to control that county. So, like, we could totally declare the war that the Duchess of Assiut failed to win. And really, we should not have any difficulty taking that. My personal levies would be enough. My habit of raising ships from Alexandria is really pissing off the Duke of Alexandria, though. I should probably spread my shipping things around a bit. Why has the HRE still got troops up there? What are they playing at? They're not engaged in any wars up there. Maybe they're just organising, pulling them back to fight that defence of Capua. Right, let's. I think the defensive pact is a good reason not to. How many troops can we raise right next door to him? He's got 266 troops. We can raise 1,300 next door, though it takes a little while for them to become combat ready. None of the rest of the defensive pact is very nearby. Go on, let's very rapidly steal that. Has called Grand Headmaster Uwais of Fedayeen. Wow, that's a good title. All right, yes, the Holy Order of Fedayeen, apparently. So, I think we should just march those straight in and hope they've got enough morale by the time they get there. What? Okay, you've brought in far too many troops for this to be an even remotely plausible approach. This might not work. Or it might. See what we can do. Yeah, I admit I was asking that question. Where did those troops come from so in such a hurry? I think he just suddenly... I mean, like, that was more than he had at his disposal just before I started the war. There's also... One of his holdings is the barony, or one of the holdings in that county is the barony of Msaken, which is held by the Caliph of Cordoba, which means that the Caliph of Cordoba can immediately bring troops to bear in that county, because he has a holding there. And so, since he was a member of the Defensive Pact, he raised his troops in that holding. So when I said, "Oh, there aren't any other members of the Defensive Pact nearby," I was neglecting the presence of the Caliph of Cordoba's troop holding in that county. So yes, that was stoat-shaped of me, really. Right, and they're apparently coming to get me, so let's get this army equipped with the best people we can, or we run away. See, they're bringing in 3,000 troops. We won't have 3,000 anytime soon. I think we should try to redirect everyone further south. So this one now absolutely needs an organiser. Oh right, no, we can't get away fast enough. Even with an organiser, we'll only arrive on the 3rd of November, and they'll be there on the 20th of October. Right, we stand and fight then. We have one unyielding man, one holy warrior, the greatest martial expert in the world, and a lot of optimism. No, I don't want to surrender. I am Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus. Plus, like, we don't lose very much by not surrendering now. If we were going to surrender, we won't be able to get a white peace at 0% war score. So we may as well. Like, it's not going to get any worse. Oh, I need a Chancellor. Velf, weren't you my Chancellor anyway? Please go and talk to the Duke of Alexandria about those ships. Tell him it was all a big misunderstanding and that I didn't actually intend to use his ships for so long. Right, how should we behave with Duke CK of Alexandria, of Tripolitania? Do we threaten him or do we obligate him? We'll obligate him because he has relatively low diplomacy. We do have a serious morale problem in this army. Right, let's find something else to do with our spy master. What's our faction situation like now then? That faction is still stronger than I'd like. Go to Sinai. Which has the best coat of arms. Yeah, I mean, it will be surprising if we can win this battle. Yeah, that's not good. I'm out leading troops. Stop trying to enlist help from some of the women from our staff to cheer me up. My duties as queen involve marching across the desert in front of an army of camels. No, it may not include actual camels. Sadly, we have lost that battle. I think I now have to stop leading armies because I'm about to have a child and lose another battle. I cover my mouth and try to contain a giggle. Spotting a servant discreetly lighting up a candle, I realise that it's night already. This isn't the first time I've spent my entire afternoon gossiping about friends and family with my guests without realising it. I cannot deny that this new habit is really helping me getting through the pregnancy. And I learn so much just by listening. So I could gain one learning because I'm patient. I really do love talking for 50% chance of gaining one diplomacy. I have never been so relaxed for a 50% chance of losing paranoid. Didn't even know I was paranoid. Paranoid is good for my intrigue and bad for my diplomacy, to the extent that I think it might be worth keeping. Let's gain one learning. Right, so that army... Oops, I should have dismissed it before it got squished. Oh well. Can't wait to get back out on the battlefield again. Because I think this war may still be winnable. Aha! No, we can't call her Adalberta, that'll be confusing. Daughter was born to Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, and King Gomez of Egypt. Yes, we like more daughters. What should she be called, though? Because she can't be called Adalberta, because that'll be confusing. Dizzy, it says Badalberta. And then, but no, that's not very helpful either. But obviously it should be something that begins with a B. Have we had Bertilda? Thank you, Gareth. Gareth suggests that honeys begin with B. Honey begins with B's. I think Bertilda is a good name. I think that sounds fairly German. It has a bear in it, and it begins with a B. I'm not sure it needs to begin with a B, because actually our first one doesn't begin with an A, does she? She's Gerhild or something. Right, there we go. Meanwhile, damn it, I'm putting myself at the head of this army. I don't seem to have put the proper hat on. I mean, we could probably win a battle now. Do we run out there and win a battle in... There is a defensive bonus for being on in desert. It's kind of tempting to organise ourselves, go out there and hit them, and then come back and do this siege properly. How long will the siege take? That one was 13.7 every 12 days. It was only 5.6. So we could win the siege before they win their siege. And then go out and distract them. It does slightly depend on no more troops turning up on their side. But we can just win this one by 100% occupation. That was the plan. Let's stick to the original plan, which was win it. Right. At first I may have been uncertain about this pregnancy, but after all the pain and tribulation, looking at the sweet, innocent creature resting in my arms, well, she isn't a genius, fills my heart with joy. The maids insist I should leave her in their care now. Go back to my duties as queen. Well, commander. Perhaps they are right. I will always be with you. I can nurture Bertilda personally at the expense of my health, which will give her one of some point and make me really like her. Or I can let Bertilda be raised as any daughter of a queen should, nurtured by your servants. Reduces my fertility, but that's actually helpful. I will always be with you, except that actually I'm just going to take you with me to war. This is one reason why I want to have a battle, is simply so that Queen Adalberta gets to win a battle. I'm not worried about us losing sieges. I am worried about that army marching eastwards. Right, I'm going to go out and hit Gafsa in case that army comes after me. Right, we get a plus 15% morale boost for being led by the Queen. So let's see if this works. It is as if I see Gomez for the first time. His good-natured spirit, the interesting and funny quirks he has. How lovely he really is. Could it be that I love my Gomez? Embrace the love I feel for Gomez. Oh dear, I think one of my commanders may have died in that battle. Well, let's head back over there to make sure that we get to finish the sieges that will actually win us the war. So what's our faction situation like now? We still have the Gavelkind succession faction, so we still want to be scheming in Sinai. We have apparently lost a commander. Though not any of those three. I mean, I would kind of noticed if we'd lost Queen Adalberta. We don't have anyone else good lying around, so let's try to invite someone. When the best commander available is also an organiser. Yes, you're totally coming to my court. Give him some money so that he will convert to Catholicism, so that we don't have random Orthodox people kicking around court. So we should drop back in a siege leader. Oh dear, I'm down to one siege leader. My siege leader was the one who copped it, apparently. Okay, how should we proceed discouraging Duke Athelwine of Sinai from associating with conspiratorial factions? We only have blackmail as a choice. We should be able to blackmail him adequately. He has a... Thank you. He has a Muslim wife. How did he achieve that? Though I curse your name, I will comply with your unfair demand. Just keep the sensitive information to yourself. Excellent. Right, so that should be... That should dispose of the... tricky factions. Yeah, I'm not worried about a faction with one person in it. So that means that the spy master is now not needed to scheme. So I think we will, as is traditional, send him to study technology in Constantinople. Possibly I should send him to study technology in Capua, because that's pretty much as good these days. Right, are we going to assault this? The county of Baharia has converted to the Catholic faith. All these names that we know from playing Amon-Ra. Notice how Catholic it is. See, there are rather a lot of rather big armies heading... Oh no, but they're heading away still, of course. They're heading towards... we'll be fine. We surrender. They surrender. Not least because we've hit 100% war score. Pause. Accept. Did that actually work? Yes. Sorry, I was on the wrong view. There we go. Though actually we only get 2 of the 4 holdings there, because one of them's the city is held by the Byzantine Empire, and of course we know that the other castle is still held by someone of the wrong religion. Right, well, the bishopric of Sfax can have a newly created bishop. We currently hold Mahdia, as it now is. De jure is part of the Emirate of Tunis, which is currently not held by us. Similarly, this place is de jure part of the Duchy of Kabylia, which is currently de facto independent. What? All right, yes, unheld. In fact, we can't create it. Not sure whether anyone else can. So I should probably dispose of one of these counties. He's got a noticeable number of troops now, and is still in the defensive pact. Did I dismiss that army while I wasn't paying attention? Yes, I did. So yes, I should dispose of one of the holdings, either one of those counties, or oh no, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just adjust my centralisation upwards a notch. Oh, except I'm already at high centralisation, and I can't go to max centralisation unless we have level 5 legalism. Right, so that means I do need to dispose of a county. I think the right thing is probably to have a count, not an independent count, but a count as my direct vassal. So in the past, our approach to this has been to try to find a convenient Di Spoleto who wants to join my court. Oh, Magnus looks like he might be quite a decent chap. Sorry, you get to press your own claims. A book without a title was pushed into my hands by a hooded man clad in midnight blue. Something was said but was lost in the confusion. The book was still there. So do I gain 20 piety and study it intensely? Or do I get illuminated for a small amount of monthly prestige and monthly piety? Let's go for the small amount of prestige and piety, largely because I'm not sure. Well, I don't know that I've ever chosen that option before. Right. Yes, I'm waiting for my new count to turn up. Oh, we have a new Duke of Ivrea. Oh, well, we don't. The HRE does. Gods, it's going to be a right pain to deal with a peasant revolt in Limassol. I presume I can't raise a significant number of troops there. Not enough, no. Let's avoid pissing off Alexandria further. That should be enough. Where do we want to give him? Bilbays? I don't know. That one there, I think I want to give him. Mardia, where I've just raised the troops. I'll dismiss them in a moment. Or Constantine. No, let's give him Mardia. Right, so he is now Count Magnus of Mardia. Okay, please have a child, because your heir is otherwise Mardia is going to become part of the HRE, which would just be embarrassing after I put all that effort into getting it. Camel! Camel, 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 camel. Oops, no, more troops coming. Right, yes, curiously, if you go to the war against the Holy Roman Empire, you will lose. Slightly more troops than I need for the job, but still. Oh, the rebels are about to be beaten by the locals anyway. Meh. Well, let's make sure that happens. Right. No need for that army then. Right. Queen Adalberta hasn't held a feast for a while. Let's pass the winter with a feast. Ooh. Is that Zadar? No, that's Asosa. Oh yes, that's where Zadar is. Kaiser Baldwin the Wise has just become Duke of Croatia. And has now revoked Asosa. What's he up to? So, something is rotten in Fustat. That's where our capital is. I have had suspicions about plots, maybe an assassination or something, horrifying, unravelling in front of my unseeing eyes, and I will find out what is going on. So she accuses Henrique the Feeble, Heinrich the Pest's wife, of plotting against her. Not sure she is, you know. I mean, she does have a reasonable backstabbing skill, but... Hold the feast, hold the feast. I caught the cook and Henrique plotting against me. When I confronted them, they denied it at first, but broke down eventually and confessed that they were planning to humiliate me. How they planned to do that, they refused to say. I forgave them, even though it was hard. So I think I get that from being paranoid. Right, let us hold a feast. There does appear to be a plot to kill Henrique, including her husband. Group of acrobats. Yes, play the acrobats. Play the musicians. What are you up to, Kaiser Baldwin? Spend on food. Come to my feast. We're a good feast. Well, okay, probably quite a lot of you don't like me. I'm sure someone will come to my feast. Nikita Voldarovich claims that he will be a better marshal than Sebastianos, and petitions that he should be given the title Marshal of Egypt, Marshal of the Kingdom of Egypt. Yeah, go on. Which is appoint Sebastianos as a commander, though. And have my marshal researching military tech. On with the feast. Guests have finally arrived, all is ready, the cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. Aha, Duke Arpad Venchel of Alexandria has had his opinion of me improved rather, which, given how annoyed he was, is probably for the best. Right, we get another -10 for the fact that our daughter's female. Well, not the most exciting of feasts ever, but some vassals at least will have improved their opinion of us. +5 for enjoyed feast, and +20 for improved relations. Well, to be fair, Bigby says, I'm impressed how the loveliness of castles is higher each time. Queen Adalberta, hasn't had this castle for very long. Possibly she should spend some money on it, since she appears to have some money. Let's upgrade the castle town, because that will get us more tax income from the castle. Pink Beast points out that surely having my daughter being female is unremarkable. Well, yes, but she's also my heir, and that's slightly remarkable. This guy still only has 2,000 troops. going on over in the HRE? It is quite big, isn't it? It is definitely eating in addition to this gradually spreading across the right, yes, we still have a truce with him. Okay, where have we got a raised army levy? There it is. Yeah, he's still a bit scary. I mean, to be fair, I produced a ridiculously huge blob and then turned it into the HRE. And they made it slightly huger because there kept being greater opportunities for holy wars out in the east. And in terms of area, Egypt is getting close to being the size of the HRE already, remembering that this is on a lying Mercator projection. Maybe we should give King Aaron a bit of a slapping. Get Mercuria off him after he humiliated our vassal. He is in a defensive pact now. No, okay, we won't try to do that. And we were a bit threatening, it's true. So they're not in the defensive pact, but they're also we have a truce with them. They're not in the defensive pact, but they are fairly scary. He is in the defensive pact. That lot is all the HRE. So yes, I think things have now getting close to the point of I should settle down and not stomp all over. Phew! 15k. He's actually scary. Oh well, that's fine. He'll probably be the next target of the crusade. Next crusade, not likely to be for another 20 years though. That's because Adalberta became the Queen of Egypt at the age of 17. So one thing we might want to do is to enhance the Lighthouse of Alexandria. There being a lot of things we could add to it. He's reorganising his world a lot. I may stop watching him in due course. Have we got anyone imprisoned? I don't think we have, no. Who's trying to kill him again? I'm curious. Yeah, we could try to enhance the lighthouse at Alexandria. I mean, I did want the did kind of want the royal apartments for getting an heir, but now we have an heir. Dynasty opinion is nice. I mean, especially since I keep inviting people of my dynasty in to be my dukes and counts. Retinue might be nice, though we do have convenient holy orders now. I mean, I think having royal apartments in the lighthouse is probably the most entertaining approach. But we can't afford them anyway. And the Pidmarids are, of course, inactive. I mean, given that the pyramids don't work, we could loot them for, or don't work for us. We could loot them for treasures. It's slightly fiddly to become Egyptian. Anyway, I think insofar as we have a plan for culture changing, we're going to see if we can become Basque in order to get full cognatic succession, because we do have one or two Basque vassals. Maybe I should have been inviting Basque people in rather than Dispoletos. So just as an experiment, so yeah, we can definitely convert people in general. Though ideally we want someone diligent or gregarious and Basque. So the Count of Senussi is no good. That guy is neither. Ditto that one. Ditto that. Oh, he's gregarious. Oh, right, so the Duke himself is a pretty good target. Might actually go for the Mayor of Marsa Susa on the grounds that he's got slightly better stats. So yes, I think my plan then is to send, probably not Christine von Ries, so like might help. My daughter, my elder daughter, to Duke Ordonio for tutoring in the hope that she turns Basque, and then probably bring her back once she's Basque. I am gregarious as well, so there is a slight. I'm gregarious and diligent, so I don't want to teach her myself, sadly, because that would have the danger that she'd be very likely to turn German again if I did that. But I can probably find someone better than whoever's doing the conversion to to tutor her afterwards in a way that will be neutral. Like, we find someone who isn't gregarious or diligent, or even better, we find someone who has a different culture from the owner of the country they're in. The reason why I want her to become Basque is not because so that I can annex chunks of Andalusia. It's so that we can have absolute cognatic succession, so that we don't have this irritating situation where having a son will cause us to will suddenly change our inheritance. I mean, obviously that's still quite a long way off. It requires actually being able to press the absolute cognatic button here, and so the holder must be Basque, which means that Adalberta can't do this. It has to be Gerhild who does it, and she has to have reigned for 10 years. So it will take a while, but I think it will be nice. Let's have a look through our vassal inheritance warnings and see if I worry about any of them. That doesn't look like a problem. He's not the heir to anything else. Dinesh is not in any very much danger of having a child, though the Duchess is still technically of childbearing age. Duchess Gudrun I mean, she's an heir to quite a lot of things, but only one of them's a duchy, so surely that will be fine. I mean, it'll be a change of dynasty, but that's all right. I don't mind if my one of my duchesses changes from being a Konradina to being an Opavsky. Augustine's heir is his son, who is heir to the county of Como. That's kind of weird, but again, duchy, highest level title he's an heir to, so that'll be fine. Well, that's... Oh, he's already Count of Como. Where's Como? Como in, Italy somewhere. Oh, right, he's Count of Como because she's Countess of Como. I see, yes. Which is indeed in Italy somewhere. Well, that'll be weird. That'll get pulled into Egypt, at least temporarily. Count Magnus of Mardia, who has a spectacular crown for a mere count. Oh, because he's also Prince Magnus of Swabia. And his heir is thus Princess Agnes of Swabia, who is also heir to the Kingdom of Swabia. So yeah, that was a bit dangerous, but he's got a 22-year-old wife. Surely he can manage to have a child. And Count Male Swain of Alcazar, his current heir is heir to the Duchy of Wessex because his daughter died under suspicious circumstances at age 11. So that might be a slight embarrassment if that suddenly becomes part of Wessex. And hence part of England, which has almost managed to take over the entirety of Great Britain now. So yeah, there are a couple of those that might be slightly concerning. Like we might have the embarrassment of going to war with England to get some of our territory back. How are our finances? Our finances are excellent. Baron Rodrigo of Al-Tamimi has died of severe stress, thus passing the barony of Al-Tamimi to Duke Ordonio. Now, one of the things I'm doing is just patiently waiting. Slow fever has broken out in Tunis. Yeah, the slow fever situation is slightly worrying. Oh, it's almost gone. One thing I'm doing is basically waiting for my own rather depleted levies to recover, because I keep using them in wars. Eastern Europe is now fairly well carved up between major powers, isn't it? So Bohemia is apparently doing... What's Bohemia up to? Yes, you're attacking... You have a... Prince Hynek has a claim on Bulgaria. Coup. Is that like your son, or is it just someone you brought in? It doesn't look like it's... Where is he? Where is Prince Hynek? Oh, that's Hungary, not Bulgaria. I'm an idiot. Though I observe that we do have a vassal who has a claim on Hungary. Right, Prince Hynek of Bohemia. Who is, right, like the brother or something of maybe a cousin of the current king of Bohemia. Yes, we do have a claim on Hungary, but it wouldn't be a very helpful one. There is news from the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine Holy Roman Empire. Vaguely wait for things to recover and consider what we might do next. Like, we don't have that much for family to organise yet. Oh, not up to anything very interesting. Siwa has been converted by Ek. She's not doing very well, is she? I mean, admittedly, we are mostly starting in the east here with our conversions, aren't we? Yes, what's our revolt risk looking like? Fairly low, except there. Which has an incompetent ruler penalty. Duke CK the drunkard is considered an incompetent ruler. Oh, we have an isolated county revolt risk there, plus 4%. Not quite as bad as the penalty for having an incompetent ruler, though. Apparently the Holy Roman Empire is having some slight rebellion problems as well. What a pity. And like fixing the religion problem reduces the risk significantly. Quite a lot of revolt risk down in Asosa, I notice. Forced conversion and different culture group and different religion. So does that mean she's... No, it's still monophysite. So I don't quite know what the forced conversion is about. Well, anyway, there's not much going on here at the moment. We don't have 15 zillion people to marry off like we had when we were playing in CHRE. We don't have very much money. We don't really... I mean, we're mostly trying to get people to stop hating us. Quite a lot of our vassals don't hate us now. So if we wanted to march into one of our neighbours, we could, except that our neighbours are all terrified of us and gang up against us. I mean, the Fatimids aren't in a... Oh! A new Fatimid revolt, yes. The Carmatian heresy spread to Biskra. This ugly weed must be rooted out. What the hell is the Carmatian heresy and why is it spreading to Biskra? Where is Biskra anyway? Is it even in our territory, or is this something I see from... oh, right there. Oh, it's a... Carmatians were a heterodox branch of Shia Islam that combined elements of Zoroastrianism. They rejected the mainstream succession of the Shiite rulers and instead established a theocratic republic in eastern Arabia in the 10th century. They are remembered for their brutal sacking of Mecca and rejection of the Hajj pilgrimage. So there can be a Carmatian caliphate. But I'm not sure we really care any more about whether our territory is Carmatian or Sunni or Shia. We have all of them around. We would quite like it to be Catholic. Though it isn't really causing us much of a problem that it isn't, so we're only converting it gradually. It looks as, yeah, there is still some Islam down here that hasn't been completely squished by the African paganism. But yes, Mali is expanding northwards. So yeah, anyway, this guy, he's a fairly strong revolt actually. And we'd only have a claim for one county against him, but the problem is the Fatimids. Oh, he's new. Oh yeah, because that's the guy I want. He's new too, Caliph Hakam. So we could get ourselves some coast finally. Or take that random inland county there. Well, probably not today. But possibly a quick holy war against the Fatimids for Alger or Tlemcen. Each of them is only a single county, but the Fatimids are nice and weak at the moment. And not in a defensive pact against us. And like legitimately not in a defensive pact against us. Oh, is he? Oh no, I pressed that, don't I? Maybe he was in a defensive pact and I didn't press the right button. Let me check. No, really not. Oh, Stokes. No, really not. Probably because he doesn't know how weak he is. He, on the other hand, is in a defensive pact, and therefore we shouldn't squish him. So yeah, I think the Fatimids definitely deserve a quick stomping, probably to get up to the coast again there. Stop the HRE expanding westwards. But I think that should be left till the next session. So yes, we should probably take on the Fatimids next session. Much though I would love to take on the King of Mercuria, he's in a defensive pact against us. That might be a bit scary, though we did win without even very much cheese our last war against that defensive pact. So I don't think there's any worry about taking on the defensive pact if we want to. But we do get everyone coming after us if we do. So yes, stop faffing around, Ben. I think it is time to go to bed because, well, we've expanded Egypt slightly. We have not accidentally had a son, even though we've got a new king with whom the Queen is deeply in love. Yes, she hopes to turn her elder daughter Basque. She's slowly becoming useful. We should find her a husband at some point, shouldn't we? attractive, not very good. No genius is available for Gerhild yet. No strong people available for Gerhild yet. We may just have to take someone who'll give her a half-decent non-aggression pact. But like she's only 3, we can wait and see what turns up. Meanwhile, yes, good night Princess Gerhild, good night Queen Adalberta. We will see you possibly on Sunday, I don't know. Good night.